Hi everyone, it's Corey Jones with Remax Sarnia Realty, HomeTeamAdvantage.ca, and proud sponsor of LoveSarniaLampton.ca. I'm here with Jim Randall, owner of All You Would Need. Jim is a woodworker here locally, actually out of Corunna, and we just wanted to give you the opportunity to get to know Jim a little bit better, give him the opportunity to discuss his company with you. And when I heard the name of the company, I absolutely loved it. And had to get together with Jim. So Jim, thanks so much for joining us today.
Oh, thank you for being here.
We're excited. We're excited. I've actually been given a tour of a lot of the products Jim makes, and I'll tell you, I'm going to take a couple pictures. They'll be posted with this as well. And it's just his work is unbelievable. So Jim, how long have you been in woodworking?
I've been in it all of my life, but progressively better all the time.
Okay.
And I always strive to make my current piece better than the last one.
Okay.
So it's developed over years and years.
Okay. Yeah.
And seriously into it the last 10 years.
The last 10 years. Okay. Yeah. I was reading actually on your website because I like to research before I interview people. I heard it said on the website you've actually been working with wood and building things for
all my life.
Your whole life, over 40 years, right? So that's awesome. And what made you want to become a woodworker?
I like the challenge of it, and I don't know how to explain it. I can visualize something.
Okay.
And then I try to build it.
Okay. Awesome.
And of course you try to build it the best you can.
Yeah.
And right to perfection. But that's it, is I visualize it.
Okay.
And I can see the finished product before it's even started.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Is that right? So do you, it wasn't a question I kind of prepared you for, but do you, when you're building something, do you draw up plans for everything before you build it, or do you just kind of?
I've only bought 2 sets of plans.
Okay.
In my life.
Okay.
And basically it was just to get approximate sizes.
Okay.
Like the chest of drawers that you saw earlier.
Yes.
I wanted to know how thick should I make the top, and the dimensions of the drawers.
Right.
Because I always had a tendency to make things too heavy.
Too
bulky.
Right.
And my way of thinking was, if it's heavy, it's solid.
Right, which is true. Yeah.
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 But I can make it lighter and
Right.
look a lot lighter.
Right.
And then it doesn't look like such a heavy piece.
Right, and easier for people transporting.
Absolutely.
And
Absolutely.
I was actually thinking that as we were going through your place, looking at the different pieces you've made, and thought, wow, to carry those through here. In my younger days maybe, but nowadays some of them are. Yeah.
Well,
so
the big table, it takes 2 people.
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely. I'm sure. So how long ago did you actually form the company All You Would Need?
Actually, it's just a fresh company.
Excellent.
Since we've moved here, 6 months ago?
Yeah.
I've developed a shop and just progressively got more and more. And I want to retire early, which is next year.
Perfect.
And I want this to help me.
Excellent. Yeah. Excellent. And you've got a slogan. What's your slogan?
Oh, it's all you would need for all your wooden needs.
Love it. Love it. That's awesome. It's just brilliant. So if there was one type of wood you prefer to work with over others, what would you normally like? What's most of your stuff made from?
I like working with elm.
Okay.
I've just started working with it. I've made a couple pieces.
Okay.
The television stand you saw is elm. That little wee round table is elm.
Okay. Okay.
I love the grain of it.
Okay.
It just finishes out so nice.
Nice. Okay.
This table here that I've got on the bench, it is made of, I want to say honeysuckle, but that's not right.
Excuse me. Is it honey locust?
Honey locust.
Honey locust. Okay.
Yeah, that's what this is. And
there's quite a bit of honey locust around here. Is that right? Or no?
I think there is.
Okay. Okay.
It grows on river flats and that.
Okay.
So my wood supplier, he had this, and I was actually after some stuff for turning on the lathe, and he said, well, I've got honey locust.
Okay.
So what is the legs on it? He handed me those, and then he showed me the slab, and I said, why wouldn't I take the slab?
Awesome. Awesome. So that's a new product, new type of wood to you, but you're liking that as well.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's awesome. Now, where do you source most of your wood from?
I get it from a fella in Sylvan, which is up by Park Hill.
Okay. Okay. So he's got a sawmill in that area, does he?
Sawmill and kiln, and
okay,
and the whole 9 yards.
Yeah. Must be a heavy a heavy load when you go out? Do you pick up a whole bunch of wood, or kind of what we see behind us here?
This is the biggest load I've picked up.
Okay, yeah. Okay, well, that's a lot of wood.
That's the first time that I bought in bulk, you might say.
Okay.
Usually I need 50 board feet or 70 board feet.
Yeah.
That's what I buy.
Okay. And when somebody wants something made, because on your website I saw that you do repairs as well as you do custom furniture building and things like that. When somebody wants something made, what does that process look like? Do they come to you and just tell you?
Yeah, all they need is to get hold of me, have an idea in their head, a picture of something that they want built, and we'll take it from there. We'll get some sizes. Figure out what wood they want it made out of, what kind of finish, as far as light, dark, undertones of the stains, and at that point we'll just take off and see if I can source the wood that they want it made out of. For one thing, that's first and foremost. And then give them some sort of a quote, and just take it from there and
see what happens. So they're typically kind of bringing you an idea or giving you an idea anyway. And if they don't have a picture, then that's when you start kind of picturing what you think in your mind.
And we toss ideas, bounce ideas off of each other. Right. You just, well, what do you think of this? Well, what if we did that? And like, I can throw things in like people don't think of as, do you want the corner of that table a corner? Do you want a small round on it? Do you want a big radius on it? Like, how bad do you want to catch your shins on it?
That's right. Yeah. So you offer all kinds of different suggestions that maybe they wouldn't have thought of.
Yeah.
And, rather than I just want a really nice piece.
Right.
So that's awesome. And so if somebody said, hey, I'd like to build an entertainment stand. So the one that you showed me that you've got is beautiful, by the way. So
thank you.
If somebody was to say, I'd like an entertainment stand, would you say, hey, this is what I've got. I've got one of these. Would you like something similar, or is everything? Do you ever make anything that's kind of similar? But I guess they're always a little different too, right?
No, because as I said, I always strive to make the next project better than the last one.
Right. Okay.
So I would add things or take things away.
Gotcha.
Like that one there, the drawer that you see on the front is not a drawer on the front.
Oh.
It's just a facade.
Okay.
The drawer is in the back.
Interesting.
So that you can put all your cables, all those unsightly cables.
Right.
A little bit of OCD kicking in.
Okay. Yeah, nothing wrong with that.
And that way they're in there, they're neat. You don't see them, and you don't have all those cables behind the stand, so you can put that stand right against the wall instead of leaving it out 5 or 6 inches or whatever.
Smart. Yeah. So you always strive to make it better. So in theory, if I was to order an entertainment stand, mine would be even better than one you've got for yourself.
Absolutely.
Love it. Now you talked about giving a quote to people before you start the job. So when you give a quote, does the finished product ever vary from that quote, or are you pretty close with?
I'm pretty close. What it is we have to figure out what wood they want.
Right.
That's first and foremost.
Right.
And I have to find out, can I get that wood? And if I can, is it ready?
Right.
Because like this stuff here, I ordered it, and 6 weeks later I got it.
Oh, okay.
And I've got some courtesan cherry, and it's going to be another 8 weeks in the kiln.
Okay. So even if it's available, it's not necessarily ready to be worked with.
Right.
So, okay.
And of course, different woods has a different price that I get it for.
For sure.
So that makes the quote, haywire actually sometimes, because some of the wood I get for $4 a foot. I've bought for $15 a foot.
Wow. Okay. Yeah. So it all depends. So do you communicate that with people? Listen, the wood's going to be quite a bit higher, so they can then make a decision. You don't get into the job and say surprise. It's you discuss that first.
Yeah.
Okay.
And if they want a wood that I've very limited experience with, I won't even give the quote until I talk to the guys and say, do you have this wood? And if so, how much?
Gotcha.
And that's all part of the quote process.
For sure. For sure. Yeah. That's the thing. People don't really want surprises. Now, with that said, do you find, like, in this world where it's very much a, hey, let's go to IKEA and buy some cheap furniture. Do you find people are shocked when you say, hey, this is what it's going to cost to build this cabinet, or do they typically expect it?
I run into that, I believe, the last quote that I gave. Lady wanted some corner shelves in that built. And so, I'll tell you, I come at her with a price of $300.
Okay.
That ended the conversation.
Is that right? Okay.
Yeah. Because she was thinking, I don't know, a couple $100, maybe $100, whatever.
Right.
But it was just plywood that it was made out of. But what she's not thinking is that plywood's $110.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So just the wood alone is
and then the hinges and the paint and everything else that she wanted on it.
Yeah.
And that's the thing that it shocks me too, because I know what things cost 5 years ago, 2 years ago, last year.
Yeah.
And I'm getting shell shocked myself.
For sure. Yeah. Yeah. Well, everybody knows the price of wood has gone up, and us being in real estate, I mean, obviously building materials have gone up, and I mean, it's the way the world is, unfortunately.
It's just scary sometimes.
Yeah, for sure. But obviously, when you're building something, the quality is far superior to what they're going to buy at IKEA or even any of the other box stores, right?
I hate furniture that comes in a box.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Unless I've put together a table and put the sucker in a box.
Yeah, there you go. That's the only time.
If I've got to take it home and put it together,
yeah,
to me that's not furniture.
No. Okay.
Yeah. You're buying something that you know is going to last a year.
Right.
And you buy it from me, it's going to last.
Yeah.
You're going to give it to your kids.
Right. Yeah. So it becomes more of an heirloom or potential for that.
Yeah.
It's interesting you say that because years ago we actually had a cabinet that we purchased from IKEA, and it was it was in the kids' room, so it kind of served its purpose. We weren't looking for something necessarily to last a long period of time. With that said, we were moving it from one home to another, and we had friends helping move. And when they were carrying it out the back door, one of them tripped.
Sure.
And when they tripped, this thing fell on the deck.
Yep.
And it would have only been from about the height of an average man anyway. Yep. And when it fell, this thing exploded into several. That's not going to happen with your piece. That's no, you're going to have a mark on your deck, I imagine, right before you get out. So that's huge. Yeah, you can just tell by.
If you did happen to break it, bring it over. We'll fix her up.
That was my next. So that was what I was going to talk about a little bit was with your repairs. So you do furniture repairs, and you showed me a Duncan Fife table that you've repaired. It looks beautiful. So do you get a lot of people having you fix pieces that are?
No. I think it's because of the price.
Okay. Yeah.
It really would have to be an heirloom piece or a real keepsake that meant something to them.
Okay.
Because there's so many hours that you don't see when you get into it.
Right.
Like that table that you saw, it looked really good when I got it.
Okay.
You could see where they re-glued some joints and that and didn't do a proper job.
Right.
Well, I got into it and I was, oh my Lord, I've got to turn that whole new spindle. I've got to build all new feet.
Right.
I've got the door. The drawer fell apart in my hands when I opened it.
Is that right?
And the leaves wouldn't stay up. Nothing. So there was a lot of hidden stuff.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. And with that hidden stuff, of course, there goes the hours.
That's right. Yeah. And it's tough to quote on something like that because you don't know till you get into it. So So it have to be something that somebody really wants to keep and not just the spindle broke on this chair.
That's easy.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So that kind of stuff is easy. And honestly, it's looking at that Duncan Fife table that you did. You would never know it was beautiful. Like it just
Well, thank you.
So and you do that type of work. I don't know much about woodworking, but that's just on the lathes that you do here.
On the lathe and
Yep. Okay.
And planers and whatnot.
Awesome.
Lots of sandpaper.
Now, as far as a project is concerned, so you showed me a king size bedroom set, which was 2 nightstands, a headboard, footboard, a chest of drawers, and a dresser. If you were to work on something like that and commit your time, focus on something like that, what kind of a time frame from the time somebody was to place an order and the time it was built, typically?
Oh, as I'm working right now, it would be 6 to 8 weeks.
Okay.
Once I'm not working, 3 or 4 weeks.
Okay. Yeah. Wow. Which is still, even 68 weeks for a custom piece like that, or custom pieces like that is beautiful. And to do like a dining table, like the one.
You're looking at a week.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. So you can take this and turn it into that within a week.
Yeah.
That's incredible. That's, I am not a handy guy, so that kind of stuff really wows me for sure. So, live edge. So live edge bench. You showed me a couple other live edge pieces. That really started to become popular just a few years ago, right?
Yes.
Are you seeing it? Is it still just as popular? Are people just as excited about it, or are they starting to?
I think it's on its decline. It's run its course.
Okay.
I built this one because it was a cool looking slab.
Yeah, for sure.
And I don't know if it's going to go anymore or not.
Right.
I've got a few pieces, as you've seen.
Yeah.
I'll do more.
Okay. Yeah.
I've got some really neat live edge stuff here.
Okay.
And one fellow wanted a headboard made, so I've approached him. Okay, do you want a live edge headboard? Just make that top the live edge.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And it again is elm, so it'll really stand out.
Yeah. That's awesome. So people still like it. We have a live edge desk and we still like it, but you're seeing less and less people order it. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And I think like most things, right? People get really excited.
Course.
Yeah, exactly. For sure.
Yeah.
Is there anything you make the most of? Do you find you're making more benches or more tables or more
tables?
Tables. Yeah. That's
occasional tables. People want little wee small table for the side of their chair because they don't have much room.
Yeah.
I've yet to build it, but I want to build a triangle table.
Okay.
Because if you've got a chair in a corner,
yep,
and you want a table there, but there isn't really room,
right?
Well, you need a triangle table to fill that spot.
Smart. Okay, good. So I was going to ask, do you ever make things? Do you make many things that aren't custom made for somebody, that they're just for your collection or to sell at things like the plan is to go to the home show this year is what you're hoping to be. That's awesome. So are you building pieces here and there for that?
Yes, and that's one of them here.
That's going to be that. So okay, wonderful.
And the small tables that I showed you. In the house there. Yeah,
excellent. And a triangle table maybe.
Yep.
There you go. Perfect.
So there'll be a bunch of them there.
That's awesome. And as far as furniture repair is concerned, what type of repairs are you doing most of? Are you doing spindles?
It's wood.
Wood.
Yeah. Take it apart, reglue it. If it's split, we'll match it up and make a new piece.
Okay.
If need be.
Yeah.
Maybe we can. It depends how it's split. If it's an end grain broke, well then there's no fixing that.
Gotcha. Okay.
If it's split lengthways, well we might be able to fix it.
Okay. Okay.
But basically, if it's a chair, anything that's loose, I'm going to take apart. I'm going to get the glue joint apart, take that glue off, re-glue it. And a lot of times, like on a chair, you'll have one leg that's a little loose.
Okay, yeah.
Well, you'll take that leg off. Well, now the spreaders are all loose.
Okay.
Okay, well, they were loose in the first place. You just didn't realize it.
That's right. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, for sure. So you're able to fix all that type of stuff up. That's awesome. And what's your favorite thing you've ever made?
The bedroom outfit.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
That's my most prideful.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's I mean, and we'll take a picture of that. I mean, people can see it on your website, but like it's gorgeous. Like I don't think I've ever seen a set that well made, and that it is beautiful.
Well, with that, as I tell people, if it wasn't perfect, it didn't go on that set.
Okay, that's
and
awesome.
Like the drawers on that chest of drawers they're 40 inches,
right? And
you can just grab one handle and that thing will come out, and it's just everything's perfect on that set.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Now you got most of your training, according to the story on your website, working with your father. And it's kind of, he got you into it, right? That's where it started, was working with your father, and then trial and error and just kind of perfecting as you're going along.
Yeah.
If somebody was contemplating getting or to becoming a woodworker nowadays, like how would they go about doing something like that? Would they approach somebody like you and say, hey, let me, and teach me? Or do they go,
if I was a young fella, I would say check out the universities or colleges and that.
Yeah.
And, of course, the age of the internet.
Yeah.
Don't be a YouTube graduate, but there's master woodworkers out there.
Okay. Yeah.
And I would seriously want to go to them.
Okay.
If I wasn't the age I am,
right,
I would go to them at this point.
Still.
Yes.
Still. Wow.
Yeah,
okay.
Because they use the ones that I'm interested in use old traditional planers and
nice,
and all the old original equipment. Right.
Very cool. Very cool. Yeah, and can still and can use it to make to come off with modern finishes and really finish. Yeah, that's amazing. So besides woodworking, and I mean this is what you're doing in kind of in your spare time now. But besides woodworking, what do you like to do?
This is it.
This is it. There you go. So it's a passion.
I team roped for a long time in the rodeos, the rodeo circuit.
Okay.
And one thing led to another. Had to get rid of the horses and that. And I took on this more of a full-time thing.
Yeah.
And here I am.
There you go.
Yeah.
And no turning back. So not only is it a way to make money, but it's a passion. You just love it.
Absolutely.
You just love it. That's awesome.
This is like my second home. The first one's in the semi. This is my second one. The house is the third.
There you go. There you go. I did hear the story from your lovely wife that you chose this house because of the shop, and
That's
I mean
exactly
it's awesome. That's great. So so supporting local is important to you because obviously you are local and you want people to support you as opposed to some of the box stores and things like that. Any businesses besides your wood guy in Park Hill that you kind of find that you frequent more than others, whether in Corona or Sarnia? Or?
The hardware store up here.
They're great, eh? Yeah, they're great.
I walked in there one day. I said, I don't know how you guys survived before I moved into the area.
There you go. Yeah, you know what? Even they're a great staff. Even the young,
unreal.
The kids that work there, like they are really good. We actually moved out of Corona last year, and I'll tell you. I still like to come here as often as I can because they're just they're great. So that's
my famous line to them is, okay, if I was pocket screws, where would I hide?
Yeah.
And now I walk in there and they go, what are you looking for? And I'll tell them and say, well, you would hide over.
Oh, that's funny. That's funny. So not only do they take good care of you, but they know you too.
Yeah.
That's awesome. So, well, Jim, I really appreciate you taking the time to meet with us today. Guys, if you get an opportunity, Jim's going to be at the home show this year. Definitely check out his booth. You're going to be blown away with the quality work he does. Besides lovesarnialampton.ca, which people are going to see you on really shortly, where can they find you? Have you got a Facebook page? Or?
We've got a Facebook page of All You Would Need. We've got a website, is allyouwouldneed.ca, and give us a call.
Excellent. Guys, again, if you're looking to have anything made, if you're looking for that special piece or just, want to just kind of get away from the IKEA furniture and into something that's going to last you for several years, Jim's your guy. Definitely look him up. That's All You Would Need. If you have any questions about real estate, you'd like to chat about what's happening in the market, feel free to get in touch with us. It's 519-331-5552, or you can check us out at hometeamadvantage.ca. Jim, again, thanks so much for your time.
Thank you, sir.
And thanks for joining us on this episode of Love Sarnia Lambton. Stay well, everybody.